Frankie, this is not my kitchen, but it is our 50th episode, spectacular July 4th, BoxMac Mix-In Edition. All of these people have bought wonderful Macs today on BoxMac.
Everybody's in chains.
That's what I call a close encounter.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Free, think to speak.
This mix-in thing, it's all we ever hear about, to the point that we're tired of it.
I could stand another 50 episodes of people crapping about mix-ins, sure.
From the time that we decided we want a web series about mac and cheese,
Yeah.
they were like, well, have you ever put tuna in it? Have you ever put hot dogs in it? Have you ever put nails in it? We invited our friends, who we love so very much.
Yes.
You recognize a lot of the faces. Keith over there is like hiding for some reason.
Yes.
And we're gonna look at what appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Macs.
That's a good bounty of Macs.
Right.
My Mac is actually up first.
What?
Frankie. I don't know how this happened.
That feels suspicious more than serendipitous.
Well, you know, it's just the way the noodle falls on the table. I have prepared a John Hunt Classic Mac today with a new flair. It is your hot dog Mac, but it's using soggy hot dogs, which are a local hot dog, has a little bit more flavor, made in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Cracker Barrel as a base.
You're kidding.
But I have upgraded the cheese sauce to try to make it hold a little better. 2 pouches of Cracker Barrel cheese sauce, plus a pound of Velveeta cheese, plus some additional sodium citrate.
Yep.
Which means that cheese will not separate into oil and fat.
We need
It'll
a
hold
tent
together.
stabilizer. Keith, that's your job. Are extra packets of cheese considered mix-ins?
I say no.
No, I don't think so. You're just getting a cheesier Mac out of the deal.
Well, I was expecting a lot of Cracker Barrel bases. In fact,
Yeah.
I almost went for it myself, couldn't locate a box on time. I was a little last minute.
So in this recipe, the soggy dogs have been steeped in the cheese sauce for an hour to really pull the soggy dog flavor into the cheese sauce. We're gonna see how that works out.
That's a big part of it. Getting the actual flavor of the thing into the cheese.
You want it integrated.
And you're a big fan of that. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be boiling the pasta with salt in it in the first place.
That's right.
You just
gotta
throw a
get
little salt at the end.
flavor infused into your macaroni and cheese. And that's, when we evaluate all of these wonderful Macs that have been bought today, that's something I'm really gonna look for.
Well, you know what, John? Infuse that Mac into me.
This is a very special pot, Frankie.
Yeah?
This is a non-electric insulated cooker. It's got an inner pot that you can cook on the stove, and then you drop the pot in. It's just like a big thermos, and it holds the Mac, supposedly at optimum temperature. I just bought it just for this event. This is actually mostly meant for Asian cooking. What you do is you cook a soup in here, bring it to a boil, and you close it, and you just leave it for 6 hours, and it'll really infuse the soup, make it great. I'm using it for mac and cheese here.
Nina, what are you thinking so far? There's a lot of meats on the table.
I think they all have meats, right?
You had an opportunity to maybe do a daya/spinach sort of thing, and instead you made us fruit salad to keep the digestion moving.
To keep things moving. You may need to start sampling smaller bowls.
I'll say, maybe I should cut down here.
Yeah, you know what? I won't even make it to the end of the table. I'll have the
Look, you're eating it right now already? I'm not even ready yet.
This bite has no hot dog on it. I expect to taste some hot dog.
Okay.
It tastes like hot dogs.
It does.
It actually tastes like more hot dog than cheese.
You're right.
Do you think that the pendulum has swung a little far?
Maybe. I tried pretty hard to do techniques to keep it creamy. Didn't really stay all that creamy, but it's pretty good.
Is that one of the Macs you're looking forward to for recreationally?
I'm very much looking forward to just sitting down with a bowl of his soggy dogs.
We're on to our second Mac here.
Queso tacorito, orecchiette pasta with seasoned taco beef.
It looks spectacular. I love that pasta.
I suspect that this was done to try to garner favor with John, because John loves the orecchiette pasta.
I do.
It also looks sort of like a taco shell to me, so I wanted to kind of evoke that. And I also brought some Fritos to crumple on top.
I am not super excited about the prospect of Fritos.
I told you, John, Fritos are delicious. You forgot about them. If you like salt, and I know you like salt.
That looks really good.
Sure does, thank you.
We'll try it pre-Frito first here. Great taco scent to it.
From Zach
Smells
Carlisle.
A little like the Southwest Macs.
I love it.
I think it's excellent. It's creamier than mine. Very good. The taco flavor has completely dominated the cheese flavor, but it does make it very brilliantly creamy.
I love the sound of it, and they're selling it really well. I want to jump on that.
It sounds like a Frito pie, except you just switch it out with the mac and cheese.
Well, Max, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Yes, I did. You know, it actually does do something for the flavor, but I think it would need to get ground more.
To me, it makes it taste completely like Fritos. I mean, I don't care for the Fritos, but I do really love your mac.
And quite frankly, we don't care for you.
Who wins, Junt versus Zach?
Zach wins.
So,
Yeah.
so Zach
think it's
has
better.
to be dethroned.
This is our good friend Gary's Mac.
TV's Gary.
What was the history behind TV's Gary for those uninitiated?
I don't know. Gary lives just far enough away that he's not like, he's not a presence.
Gary's a bit of a treat.
If you have Gary on site, your event is really special.
We should have put signs up all over the neighborhood.
Yes, appearance by TV's Gary today at MacFest.
That's kind of where it came from, I guess. Is that a good enough explanation?
So it's a Cracker Barrel mac, sharp cheddar, and I mixed in some seared ground beef.
Look at that beautiful sear on that beef too. That's some very nice sear.
You put it in a really hot pan with some oil. You brown it.
For a guy named TV's Gary.
I actually love the look of the pepper. Pepper and beef and mac, it sounds really great to me. You can give it a good stirring if you like.
Nina was thoughtful enough to grab blue and yellow everything.
Nina, could I get a fresh spoon, please?
Yep.
A spoon.
The second of 6 to use Cracker Barrel as a base.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
I mean, it tastes like steak.
Yeah. Now, did you use very good quality ground beef, Harry?
I think you did.
Yeah.
Grass
This is
fed.
very good.
For my taste, the steak could be a little bit saltier.
No, I actually find the steak to be perfectly salty. I think, but again, we're having the problem where it's dominating the cheese flavor.
So have we yet to have a Mac of the 3 where the cheese flavor is as predominant as you might want it to be?
No, but I think, isn't that the whole idea of mix-ins? Is you can't really have it both ways.
I've got a friend, his name's Keith Sadik. He's right over there holding up the tent. And he once told me, you can mix something into a Mac and it's gonna be delicious, but you're gonna make it a little bit worse.
Mac by itself, put the mix-in on the side, it's gonna be a better meal. You mix them together, you've taken a little bit away from the Mac, you've made the mix-in a little bit better.
When I usually make macaroni and cheese with hot dogs, I'll actually keep the hot dogs completely, I'll boil them a little bit in, I'll keep them separate, I won't cut them up like I did here, and just enjoy them next to the Mac. I think that's your best bet.
Delicious steak, great TV personality. Thanks for coming all the way out.
Gary versus Zach.
I vote Zach.
I'm gonna have to go with Gary's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is the disappointment so far, and that makes me look like such a fool.
A hack.
A July fool.
It makes you look the fuel.
Suddenly he looks at me like I'm like this idiot or this fool.
Next up is my Mac.
Yes.
Right, didn't I make this? 4 cheese, new formulation, Kraft Deluxe.
Okay.
You would agree that's a good Mac.
It's a good quality Mac.
The deli chorizo and peppers from Lee's Supermarket.
My.
The chorizo and peppers is pre-mixed. In fact, I tried to get it without peppers and it didn't exist. Maybe the peppers will do something for us. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Well, this is also our first Mac with an actual vegetable mix-in.
And quite accidental.
Yeah. This does have a color to it that's reminding me a little more of American chop suey.
Yeah, and that's the red from the chorizo. Chorizo is, some people know it as chorizo.
Chorizo is not the same as our Portuguese chorizo.
Chorizo is not the same as linguiça, which is another form
That's
of
right.
Portuguese
So probably
cured meat.
most people, if you're not from around here, you don't actually know the taste of chorizo. It's different than chorizo.
It's a cured pork.
Yes.
And it causes gallbladders to come out.
Yes, if you have lots of it.
Zach, do you still have a gallbladder?
Yes, I do.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty cute.
The pepper has wheedled its way into the flavor and is kind of masking out a lot of the more subtle flavors. Under that, there's kind of a tomato note, and I don't know where it came from. Do you get that a little bit as you're experiencing your Mac? Maybe it's just all from the peppers.
That just tastes to me like pork spice.
It's pretty good.
As Keith said, it ruined 4 cheese in some ways.
Yeah, I get almost no cheese flavor out. A little bit of, the creaminess is still there.
It's painful for me when I mix in the cheese and then I have to mix something else in and ruin it. It's painful.
I know.
This is something people do, right?
Yeah.
They take something good and they keep adding salt on top of it.
No, not salt, but other things.
Since I am vaguely Italian, I have a vaguely Italian Mac. It's Italian sausage with some red pepper and a little onion.
Now, I am a big fan of Italian sausage, and I prefer red pepper to green pepper. What do you think, Frankie?
I prefer roasted red peppers to green peppers any day.
Cracker Barrel base. Which Cracker Barrel?
Sharp cheddar.
All right. I like it. So, the pepper is kind of a distinct layer in the flavor, and it's right at the top. It's not too strong. It's very good. The sausage is subtle. It's not a very strong sausage.
No, it's advertised as hot, but I know it's not hot.
Cracker Barrel, which has such a distinct and strong cheese flavor, all of these that have Cracker Barrel bases, the cheese flavor is way down.
Way down, yeah. It goes away.
I actually did sprinkle some Cabot on the top. A little bit of Cabot.
How are we deciding proportions?
That's part of the magic, right? I kind of like your proportions, EJ, because you've kept it a little on the lower side.
Yeah, so what I thought in my brain was what I would do for a pound of pasta, if I was making a pound of pasta and mixing some things in, I just basically cut it in half.
Gary, so far, I think is still my favorite.
Zach's continues to be mine.
There's a lot of beef in this, and I really like that in this one. But in this one, I actually prefer that it's toned down a little bit and we have a little more of the pasta.
One nice thing I'll say about EJ's is I think that the cheese came through the most in his.
Yes, definitely is.
That could be because of the added cabbage. Like I did it on the top because one actually was to just make up for the fact that I'm coming from a long way. So I was like,
right.
maybe a little bit of cabbage will go a long way.
Now it's time for Keith Sadek Mac.
I decided to do a roasted cherry tomato mix-in. As we've learned, I do not like the mix-in in the mac.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something that was kind of subtle, something that you would expect in pasta anyway.
Okay.
And that's like the tomato.
Sure.
So I slow roasted cherry tomatoes. I cut them in half, a big package, and they went in the oven for 3 hours this morning.
Ah.
Then I made a bechamel sauce. I used 3 cups of pepper jack cheese and 1 cup of Parmesan cheese.
EJ talked to us about his Italian heritage. You have an indistinct accent that nobody understands.
So I am 1/4 Syrian, 1/4 Lebanese, 1/4 Irish, and a whole bunch of European along with the Irish.
Indo-European.
Exactly. Where does my accent come from? I just never learned how to speak.
We're from the Massachusetts area, and Miss Duffy failed you.
Miss Duffy failed me, yeah. She said I couldn't speak properly because I was always kicking underneath my table.
That's all it takes?
Yeah.
That is the worst trained speech therapist I have ever heard.
Quit kicking under the table.
She made me feel bad, too.
I don't really want to eat the mac now.
I do.
It's congealing a little bit, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
That's the nature of remote Macs.
When it first came out, I took a bite of it, and it was delicious. Now, in my opinion, I think homemade Macs, no matter what, are inferior to BoxMac. You put in a lot of effort. You get more bang out of your buck with a BoxMac. But I decided I would go with it anyway for fun.
Keith Sadek's just dropping truths all day long.
I
Bowl and the fork. That's how you eat your macaroni and cheese.
With the advent of the Cracker Barrel, I think that now we're entering an age where you may want to consider just a Cracker Barrel rather than going through all the work.
I like it.
I do too.
I like the roasted red pepper flavor.
A little olive oil, salt and pepper.
Yep, I'm doing that. I'm feeling that.
I can definitely get
Put it
that.
on
I like
200 in the
cheese.
oven, 3 hours.
It's subtle.
I wish I had had it fresh.
As much as I like the roasting of them, I think it might have been even improved more by having them full sun-dried as tomatoes rather than...
Like buy some sun-dried tomatoes.
Or just sun-dry them yourself. But the flavor is really good. It's clearly a homemade mac. Tons of cheese in it. As far as the mix-in goes, you know, honestly, it's good, but I could have done without it. This is a delicious mac. I like that there's a little bit of heat at the end, too.
I am getting a little bit of spice.
It's the pepper jack.
Ah, okay. Coming through.
Boar's head.
Keith, great work. I love it a lot. Zach still takes it from me.
I would like to have Keith Sadek's mac base with Gary's meat.
And I'd rather throw them both in the bag trash and eat Zach's.
That's so rude to all the people. We've had some great mix-ins here. I'm still going with Gary's. You're still on Zach's.
I think you have plenty of people to break this tie.
Yeah.
They're holding up the tent with their excitement. We'll serve mac. We want to get everybody's opinion. We'll come around and talk to you.
How are we?
You got an opinion? You tried all the macs?
I'm going with Zach's.
You're good with me? Did you throw some Fritos on it?
I didn't. No, I ate it straight.
I actually liked yours the best.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Have you ever had chorizo before?
I've had chorizo, but not chorizo.
Sure.
I actually ended up liking the steak as my second. So that's my top 3, is yours with the chorizo, then the steak, and then Zach's. It is a good, interesting flavor combo.
Zach and Gary are still in this race.
Third place, I would say mine, if we can even choose our own.
It's a little bit gross, but okay.
I'm going with John's for second place.
Yeah?
I really liked it.
You're not worried about how it sat out and it also had that hot dog flavor?
It didn't taste overwhelmingly of hot dog to me. My palate's probably not as sophisticated as everyone else's who's been tasting mac and cheese for a year now.
Yeah, I got a sophisticated palate. That's one thing I've got in my life.
My favorite was Zach's.
But Gary's still in this thing. Don't count him
That's
out.
true.
The man is from TV. Thank you, Keith. You did a good job today.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you.
I think that the fruit salad with the pineapple was much better than the berry salad with the grapes.
We have some sliced carrots.
The sun-dried tomatoes made this. I have not tried Keith's mac, but I agree with John that sun-dried tomatoes probably would have made it better.
Is it overpowered?
How did it taste with Fritos?
The Fritos are vegan and they're delicious. So therefore, I vote for Zach's.
There it is. Zach gets a vote. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Your pasta, what kind of pasta is that?
Ear-shaped pasta.
Right. It actually is an ear-shaped pasta.
That's what it means, ear in Italian, if I'm correct.
So my Mike Tyson thing just worked. Orchietti is not a pasta we think of when we think of mac and cheese normally. We think shells, noodles, and maybe penne. But I thought that it was fantastic. Are you going to be like Keith and say that one of your favorites was your own?
I actually did like mine probably the best,
Yeah.
but I would say out of the other ones, I really liked Keith's. It was nice and creamy.
Keith Sadek, nice and creamy. Did you have an opinion about the Fritos ultimately?
I don't think the Fritos worked on my Mac, honestly.
It was just a crazy last-minute idea.
Yeah, probably like crushed up taco shells and sprinkled on top would probably be better.
Max Brinkmeyer was eyeing me earlier, going like, "What about taco shells with hot sauce on it?" And I was like, "Are you hitting on me?" I do think you might be the runner-up here, and that's pretty good. Do you have opinions about the Macs on the table?
I like Zach. Zach's the best.
I like him too. But what about his Mac?
His Mac is pretty good. That's my favorite. And
Was it really?
I'd say Keith's is a close second.
Wow. So Keith and I are on the chart somewhere. Keith and I are on the spectrum. If there was a winner, Zach's is it. So when people are in the stores, they should really grab Zach's Mac. He finally added something to the program. The program. EJ brought some ribs, and I see you're both eating the ribs.
They're actually made in a pressure cooker because I didn't have that much time. There's a rub on it overnight in the fridge. Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce on it. They're awesome. You know, I really like Zach's, but I have actually a question. Because that seems more like a home-style mac to me, but I do like it a lot, and I'm probably going to make it myself. I think I like Frankie's the best because I think the chorizo, I like actually, it's a little tomatoey almost. It does make it like a chop suey, and I actually like that.
I got voted #1 by 2 people.
No, taco shells, if you put them on. No, I'm just kidding. But Zach's mac and cheese was fantastic, and I had it with both the Fritos and without the Fritos. And I'd actually say I prefer it with the Fritos.
Yeah.
But it adds that nice little texture to it that I thought was great. John's just brought me home hot dogs and just mac and cheese. Still say Zach's is my favorite. I'm just saying it gave me the warm and fuzzies.
Right.
Keith was saying, oh man, it congealed. And that's not good for it. But I was like, this is really creamy.
Right.
I would say Zach's. I gotta go with Keith's and close there, John's.
Well, I kind of prefer more of a hot dog flavor. However, Zach's, while a nice salty Tex-Mex flavor, I preferred TV's Gary. Because like me, he's from the 90s.
Gary is from the 90s? Frankie, we've had some wonderful Macs here today. Who has come away with the top prize?
Polling the group, Zach's Tacaroni got the most number of top votes.
Queso Tacaroni.
The #2, it would appear, is Gary DeRoche.
Steak Mac, delicious. That was my personal favorite. I've resampled every one, and it continued to be my favorite afterwards. Everybody's gonna go home with a special gift today. I've got one of them right here. We're gonna send them home with these cute mac and cheese earbuds. And look, you can pretend you got mac and cheese in your ears, which is not a very good place for macaroni and cheese.
Great Christmas gift, great Valentine's Day gift.
Great 4th of July gift.
Oh yeah, that holiday. You actually bought these headphones. You saw them at a dollar store?
Dollar General, mm-hmm.
Did you buy out their stock?
Yeah, like 3 times.
And the reason it ended up in a small box is because your kid...
Because Evie got into my closet and opened a bunch of them. I had to repackage a bunch of them into little boxes.
The boxes are so cute.
That's my little one.
I mean, this is just really scratching the very edge of the mixed-in surface.
And we know, tuna, it's your favorite.
I don't want no tuna. I don't want tuna.
Tuna and Annie's is what you want, right? Well, it's our show!
Well, we got a couple shows coming up. Yeah. One of them is Annie's.
It is. We finally tried their deluxe.
We finally found the deluxes. We also start off a really epic battle of Kroger Macs versus Mayer Macs. Mayer, whatever. That'll be next time on BoxMac.
Did you like seeing us do things outside? Rewatch BagTrash, our April Fool's special. And if you want to putz around Junt's yard, watch an all-new Winter Moths here on Red Cow Entertainment. A happy 4th.
Max. BoxMac. One more mix-in, is that what I'm hearing?
What we have here is from an MR. I'm in the Army, obviously.
Demonstrated
by this neat little uniform I probably wear and the unshaven appearance of my face. But we have MREs, meals ready to eat, penne whole wheat pasta, and cheese, spreadable cheese from a tube.
I bet he's not going to eat any.
No.
No. I know the process that they use to cook this pasta because there's not many processes that'll actually keep pasta held for MRE conditions, and it does not taste good. I don't need to eat it to know, because I know the chemicals that go into the process.
The thing is that you can heat these up, but no one actually ever does that because you don't have enough time.
I don't want.
Got it.
This is called faking the funk, and you're like, hey man, I want mac and cheese.
Ew.
This is clearly marinara.
It's cat puke.
It is.
No, this won't be that bad.
And then I throw cheese on top?
And then you just mix in some cheese.
I'm gonna try it without the cheese.
You wanna try it without the cheese?
Yeah, they've pulled the acid out of the tomatoes to be more shelf stable, so it doesn't eat itself away. It's basically pasta sauce without any acid in it.
I like it with acid.
It's not awful.
Mom, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
Wasn't there some kind of training for this?
Yeah. There's explicit instructions to knead the package before opening. Is that usually done, or is it usually just skipped?
Most of the time, I don't even eat this stuff. No, I'll eat the entree, and like it will come with other things like bread.
I'd be much more likely to just suck the cheese packet, to be honest with you. I'll be honest. You didn't need, so thus it is pre-separated into oil, which is just awesome. It's fine. It's not unsafe. It's actually not so bad. The cheese sauce is okay. It's got a really sharp cheddar flavor, and it is actually real cheddar cheese. It's not something I'd eat on a regular basis.
All right, so I'm gonna mix this in, because this, after all, is the mix-in episode.
Oh.
It's Jell-O.
You don't have time to taste it.
This seems about like acquiring nutrients.
The thing is, there's a lot of things that most people will store away, and then there's some things that people will keep. Like it will come with a drink powder. Most people just like, I don't have time for that, I'm not gonna use it. With the cheese though, you can put on bread, crackers, things like that they'll have in there, and it's used as a spread. The best thing to get is peanut butter, because everyone wants it and it's full of protein.
I mean, the taste actually isn't that bad, but it certainly has an off-putting appearance.
Those are MRE Max.
Just don't do it.